Before the pandemic, I used to go to a lot of festivals, but what I didn't do was read. But now that I read, I thought I would talk about which books I'm packing for my next festival. When you watch this video, I'm hopefully and probably at a festival in Belgium called Rock Werchter. It's impossible to pronounce, but a festival I've been to several times and which I really enjoy. The thing about these big festivals with huge camping sites is that you often don't have access to a bookshop or shops in general, which makes it really hard to find new books if you have read the ones you bring. That's why I'm probably going to bring more books than I'm going to read. That being said, from the moment you wake up and until the concert starts, there's usually quite a bit of time. So I'm planning to read a lot. Now let me take you through my thought process. And the first thing I thought about when I decided to pack some books was that I'm going to pack smaller books. If I don't like a book, it's easier to change it. If I sort of don't like it, it's easier to finish. Also, they take up less space and I can bring more of them, thus making it easier for me to have a wide selection of books. The next thing I thought about is having funny books and hopefully some light reads. It's summer, it's supposed to be fun, and I'm not going to deep dive into a sad novel and stay there when I'm trying to enjoy life in general. So hopefully this will just make the experience of being at the festival even more fun. I also thought I would bring some music related books just because it felt right. And as I talked about in my previous book haul, I've sort of delayed some of my music related reads just because I've missed the concert so much. So hopefully this will be an explosion of I'm glad to be back feeling. With all this in mind, I try to pick books that are kind of different. I don't want to be reading the same book all over again. Also, I think my mood will change quite a bit at festival if there is a lot of sun or if it's a lot of rain. If you've ever woken up in the middle of a festival floating around on your inflatable mattress, you know what I mean. And the last thing, I've brought only paperbacks, just because it feels right and summery. The first book I'm bringing is the most obvious one, and it's Roskilde by Linn Strømsborg. She's a Norwegian author, and Roskilde is a festival in Denmark. The funny thing, or the sad thing, is that Roskilde Festival is arranged at the same weekend as Rock Werchter, so I will never attend Roskilde as long as I'm going to Belgium for this festival. But I've been to Roskilde and it's a huge festival and a very, very well organized one and fun one. And this book basically goes through the days at the festival with a group of friends and describes what it is like being at the festival. So this will be very meta. But a book I've been waiting to read and I think I really will enjoy. Also, it's very short, so it really fits the bill. I'm actually bringing one a bit chunky book, and that's The History of Bees by Maja Lunde, and this is supposed to be the book I'm traveling with because we are currently experiencing a lot of issues with airline traffic, but this means that I will have more time than I actually want to at the airport, so it's a good thing having a bit bigger book if something were to happen. I've gotten some flights cancelled lately, so I know I will be a bit more calm if I have a bigger book to finish when I'm at the airport. This book is the first part in a quartet of books about the climate crisis, and in the book we meet 3 different stories from the past, future and present, all dealing with the life of bees and the climate crisis, and it's said to be thrilling, exciting and a page turner, so I think this is actually the perfect book to bring for a summer vacation. Also, this is translated to all kinds of languages, so it's easily available. The only downside to this book is that I might get even more depressed. And of course, sitting in an airport waiting for an airplane isn't the best feeling in the world when I read this book, but maybe that's what I need. If I get a bit down from reading The History of Bees, I have my safest bet for this trip with me, and that's Fredrik Backman's Anxious People. It's about a hostage situation on showing of an apartment. And of course, Fredrik Backman is sailing up to be one of my favorite authors, and that's why I'm bringing it. I think that if I do not like any of these books, this one might be the one I would really enjoy. All the books I've read by Fredrik Backman have been easier reads, and that's also a great thing, because you might get a little bit unfocused when you're at festival. Then over to a music related book again, and it's Patti Smith with Just Kids. This is one of Patti Smith's memoirs about the 60s and 70s and her relationship to a photographer. And I've met people from various backgrounds that like this book for different reasons. Some like the language, and people think that she's a great poet in general. Some like just hearing about the historical aspect of things, and some like the relationship part of it. I really like Patti Smith for her music and that she's a badass. And I've been waiting for a long time to read this book, and I think the moment is finally here. And so the last book I'm bringing to the festival is Collective Suicide by Arto Paasilinna. As I've mentioned, I think that me and him will have a great relationship in the future. This is about a man trying to commit suicide. He meets another man trying to commit suicide, and they set out to make a seminar with people that want to commit suicide and then going for a collective suicide. My fondness for dark humor and knowing what the Finns are like, I think this book will be brilliant. But my expectations are rising for each moment that passes, and I can only get disappointed if that continues. So I will now stop and think that I will bring it, but I might not enjoy it, and then I will enjoy it a lot. The biggest question remains, will I get to read a lot at the festival? Because there are a lot of friends I haven't seen in many years, and I will have to catch up with them. There will be concerts, and how much will I sleep? There are a lot of unanswered questions. As a backup, I have the Kindle app on my phone, but there isn't always a good amount of opportunities to charge your phone, so how much battery will I have? I could have brought my Kindle, but I think that will be unnecessary, because 5 books I think will be more than enough. The festival goes for 4 days, and 5 books will be a record for me if I get through them all. Which books would you have brought for a festival? Please comment below. I hope you have a great day, and thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!